Hi traders, welcome back to another YouTube video. So in this YouTube video, I want to talk about which time frame should you trade to become profitable. So this is one of the most typical question I was constantly being asked by a lot of traders. So they might be wondering, which time frame should I trade? I sometimes trade 5-minute chart, but it seems like I'm not being profitable. So some people might be trading the 4-hour chart based, but they still find themselves not being profitable. So it is a very subjective question, and it all comes down to these 3 points that I'll be talking about in this video. So the first point is definitely your time. So what do I mean by time? If you have a full-time job, it is relatively hard for you to trade the lower time frame. I'm not saying you cannot. Maybe you can after work. Let's say you work from 8 to 5 p.m., 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then from 7 to 10, you like to trade the New York session, for example, or whatever time zone you're in, you want to trade the New York session. Do you have that kind of energy to trade on lower time frame? Because after your work, probably you have already experienced some sort of exhaustions in your body, or maybe you're already tired, or maybe you are experiencing something unhappy in the work. All of these small little factors might contribute to your overall trading performance. So the first thing is always to ask yourself, how much free time do you have that you can put 100% focus into trading? Because if you want to learn trading, you need to know that it is a skill set, and what is involved in trading is like a house. You need bricks, you need the roof, you need the support, you need the floors, whatever, you need a window or whatsoever. Trading is basically the same thing. You need a lot of different components to be practiced, to be mastered, before you can become a profitable, consistently profitable trader. So you need a good mindset, a good discipline, a good consistency, a back-tested strategy. In fact, you need multiple back-tested strategy to make sure you can trade across different market conditions. And the most important thing that makes you a good trader is your level of experience, right? You need enough experience. You need to experience through enough drawdowns, enough failure, enough blowing up accounts to become a good trader. Alright, so the first point I want all of you to start assessing yourself is how much free time do you have. If you are someone who have a 9-to-5 job, or if you are someone who's already working different jobs on the day, then when you're back home, it's probably after 15 hours of work. Then how can you trade the lower time frame? You can't really focus on that, because if you want to trade properly, you need a lot of focus. Focus is what makes you a good trader, because it helps you with your discipline as well. All right. So that goes to the second point, which is your level of stress and pressure threshold. So what is your stress or pressure threshold? Are you someone who can withstand a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, or if you are someone who crumbles easily because of a little bit of stress? So this might seem like I'm trying to talk down some of you. I'm not, because me myself, I'm someone who can really withstand that high level of pressure. So even when things fall apart, me myself, I will never break apart, right? Because I know what I want, I know what I'm doing. But some of the traders that I've met, whenever they start looking at the 1-minute chart, it's almost like they start going insane. They don't know what they're doing, because let's assume you're trading a 1-hour chart, and right now, because of whatsoever external factor, you need to go to trade the 1-minute chart. That transition takes a lot of courage as well, and that transition takes a lot of mental capital. So let's go into the chart, and I'll just quickly show you some example. So here we are looking at dollar Canadian. So have a look at the 4-hour time frame. If you are trading on the higher time frame, first thing first is you get lots of clarity, and clarity is what makes you to make informed decision easier. I'm not saying simpler, but easier. As in, you look at the market, if it's in an uptrend, you go long. If it's in a sideways movement, you trade the range. If it's in a downtrend, you sell it, right? So in this case, if let's say the market is moving up, you simply buy the pullback. That's what we call trend following system. That's why as a longer term trader or a swing trader, they always have the advantage over clarity, because when they look at the market, if the market is in an uptrend, all they need to do is to buy support. That's what you need to do as a trend following trader or swing trader. As a swing trader, you wouldn't want to hold your position over a range, right? You wouldn't want to buy a support just to experience a 2 months range in the market. In that way, you are not going to make any money, right? Long-term trader or swing trader, easy. We are looking for a trend. We are looking for a big move, and you don't care about whatsoever happened here. All you need to know is, will this eventually continue? Assuming you take a long here, you don't care about this piece of price action. Whatever you need to know is whether if the market is going to continue or not. If it continues, you hold the trade. That's it. Yeah. But right now, if we look at this small little piece of price action here, remember this part, this box here, and I put in the replay mode and I drop down to the 5-minute chart. All of a sudden, things become a lot messier. Am I correct? On the 5-minute chart, an uptrend doesn't seem so much like an uptrend anymore. That's why whenever new traders they start jumping onto lower time frame, I always tell them, if you have a high level of pressure and stress threshold, then you may look at the lower time frame, because this takes a lot of energy from you. Me myself as a day trader, trust me, I sit in front of the chart more than 10 to 15 hours every single day. I don't trade 10 to 15 hours a day, but I need to read the market for 10 to 15 hours a day just to get a clue of what the market is really trying to do, and therefore I make good decision. There are times where I sit in front of the chart and I'm watching the market doing, assuming the market opens here, I watch the market doing this entire piece and I'm not taking any trade. There are times I just take a step back and I just sit there. Because why? Because what I'm looking for is good setup. I don't care if this piece of sell-off is 1,000 pips. If it's not within my trading plan, this 1,000 pips doesn't belong to me. So all of you as a new trader, or if you are an experienced trader, you always have to remind yourself, not all the big move belongs to you. And the same thing, not all the profits belongs to you. Social media is such a dangerous place where we often fall into the traps of we envy other trader. We start comparing with ourselves with other trader. Maybe you are a new trader, then you start looking at maybe you trade a 1 hour chart, then you start looking at other trader who's trading 6 figures, 7 figures. They are trading the 1 minute chart. They're basically scalping the news or whatsoever. And then you think, hey, they are trading 2 hours a day and they are making $100,000 a month. But I'm trading the 1 hour chart and I'm only making $1,000 a month. Then you start all this nonsense comparison, and that what makes you to deviate from your initial plan. So I want all of you to again ask yourself, what is your pain, what is your stress, what is your pressure threshold? Can you withstand all these noises in the market? Because what the story happening on the 5-minute chart, on the 1 minute chart, and on the 4 hour chart are completely different. So not every trading style suits you as well. That's one of the biggest mistakes by retail trader, is that they always compare nonsensely, unnecessarily. You don't need to compare your journey with someone else. if you have high level of experience and trading skill sets, you can trade across different time frame. If right now I say I want to trade the 2-minute chart, I can trade 2-minute chart. If right now I say I want to trade the 1-hour chart, I can trade the 1-hour chart. I can switch between day trading, short-term scalping, and swing trading. It's because I've been through enough setbacks, and I have experienced enough knowledge and experience to basically just trade across different time frame, because right now I have a system, right? So that sums up the second point. Let's go into our third point, which is your level of experience. So it might seem like it's slightly similar to the second point, which is your stress or pressure threshold, but the third point basically just asks you what is your level of experience. Like I've just said, don't compare your journey with someone else. Don't compare your level 1 with someone else's level 10. So if, let's say, you are a relatively new trader, I will always suggest you to trade first thing first, the high time frame. You trade the higher time frame, but you back test on the 5 to 15 minute chart. So listen carefully. You trade the high time frame on your live account, but while you're doing your back testing, you back test the lower time frame. Because if you back test the lower time frame, it gives you a lot of information, and that information basically stems a lot of knowledge, stems a lot of patterns into your brain, and that's what you need to quickly fast pace your trading growth. If you are back testing on a high time frame, yes, you can still test them, or maybe if you are forward testing your data, you can trade the high time frame, but understand that the information that you're getting are a lot slower. When you are new to trading, you want to learn things fast. I'm not asking you to rush the process, but I'm saying if you want to become a good trader a little bit faster than someone else, like myself, when I first started trading, I was backtesting the 15-minute chart, and I sit in front of the screen more than 13 to 15 hours a day. Trust me, that was a torture, but eventually you will be there. What you need is consistency, and that consistency brings you profitability. If you're not being consistent in the market, there's no way you can make money in the market. Alright, so again, back to our third point, which is your level of experience, right? If you are an experienced trader, you can then start dropping to the 5-minute chart. But what you need to do is still doing your multiple time frame analysis, right? When you're doing the lower time frame trading, one of the biggest mistakes that retail trader or new trader make is they don't refer to the high time frame. So let's assume we look at the 4-hour chart here. This entire piece of price action is what? Bullish. If we put in the replay mode here, when price formed this, it basically tells you that you need to buy, right? You need to buy. Why? Because we have just broken above some of the recent structure. We have a break of structure here. We have another break of structure of that the swing high. Right now we are basically turning into a strong uptrend. So on the 4-hour time frame, it's easy to trade, right? It's basically just going up. What you need to do is just buy pullback, buy pullback, buy pullback. But new traders on the 5-minute time frame, what do they see? Trust me, whenever they see things like this happen, assuming we have a bit of bearish engulfing here, then they start immediately going short, right? Or maybe they see a bit of rejection here. Look at this bearish pin bar. They start going short just to get stopped out, and they are constantly wondering, why do I always get stopped out before the market turned? Or why do I get stopped out only to see the market move so dramatically into my favor? It's purely because you have not referred to the higher time frame, because high time frame gives you a good level of SNR zone. If you are taking long here, assuming if you are taking long here, on lower time frame, that level looks like a support, right? Makes sense? This level. Yeah, if I drop down to the 15-minute chart, it looks like we are forming a support. But if you go back to the 4-hour time frame, where is your true support? Where is your recent break of structure? Right there. That's why you always feel like the market tap you out, then only to run into your favor. It's not because you are bad at trading, it's purely because you have not done the higher time frame analysis and you have not achieved that level of experience to differentiate what is key level, what is minor level. If you start going to the chart and you start trading the lower time frame, that's what you're going to experience. The market is not trying to manipulate you. The market is not here to scam your money. But the main thing is, do you have what it takes to make money in the long term? If you want to make money in the market, then you need to practice a little bit more, right? So I want to go back to the 3 different points that I've just mentioned. So the first one is your time. Time is important. How much time do you have to put 110% focus in the market? I don't want you to come back from work after 15 hours and say, I want to trade 3 hours on the 5-minute chart. You can't do that. Everyone has a level of energy every single day, right? Once the energy is exhausted, once all of them are being consumed, you can no longer focus at the peak level, right? So first thing, ask yourself, how much time do you have? If you don't have a lot of time, don't day trade. You can swing trade. And in fact, swing trading will make you money as well. A lot of the professional trader and a lot of the better trader, they trade the high time frame is because they want to eliminate that kind of lower time frame noises and distraction out of their performance. That's why they trade the high time frame. Can they make money? They can. Right? But lower time frame, of course, they give you a little bit better return, but to compensate that, what is the contrast? Is the risk. Risk and reward always comes, because it always comes the same. If you want if you want high return, high risk. If you want a stable return, stable risk, right? Then second point, your stress or pressure threshold. All right, second point, important as well. How much pain, stress and pressure tolerance can you actually withstand? If you're someone who crumbles easily, if you're someone who just cannot stand that kind of intense battle with the market every single day, if you're trading the 2-minute chart, then go to the 1-hour chart. You'll get a lot more clarity in the market. Third point, your level of experience. How much experience do you have? Again, I'm not saying that if you have low level of experience, you can't trade the lower time frame. You can, but first thing first, test them. Back test whatever you need. Gather enough data, gather enough information to make sure you don't blow up your account. Because if you are simply jumping into the market on low time frame, which is what most of the retail trader does, that results in them blowing up multiple accounts. Because you look at one bearish pin bar candle, you start going short. You look at one bullish pin bar, you start going long. You look at price testing support, you go long. You look at price rejecting resistance, you go short. All these are textbook knowledge. All these are simply just the surface knowledge. If you want to be there, if you want to be the top 5% of trader, you cannot learn all these basics and assume to print money from the market like some of the rich people, right? If you want high return, make sure you have what it takes to achieve that, right? And all of these things I'll be teaching in my free Telegram group. And if you're looking to join a community of passionate trader, you can go to my free group and click the link there. All right, so I basically teach a lot of traders to how to achieving consistency, but mainly on the forex market and commodity market. All right, so that's it for today's video. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I hope you learned something new. Trade safe, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.